Hi folks, today we're going to make some grain-free dog treats. You always want to check with your vet before making any dietary changes, but I did speak with our vet for Bailey and this was an option that would be healthier for her. So we're going to make the grain-free treats. Some of the advantages of doing a grain-free diet are cutting out the wheat, which can cause your dog to get skin rashes. Sometimes they can have excess licking or itching. That just alleviates that. So like I said, check with your vet to make sure that that's an option. But baking for me is a fun activity. I like to bake. It relaxes me. It de-stresses me. It's enjoyable. So in addition to the benefits of a grain-free diet, this also is a stress reliever. They're cost effective because you're making them at home versus buying them. And you can control the ingredients when you're baking homemade. The ingredients for these cookies are 1 15-ounce can of pumpkin, a ½ a cup of all natural peanut butter. You don't want it to have added sugar, but you do not want it to be sugar-free. 4 eggs, a ½ a cup of coconut oil melted, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of turmeric, and 1 2/3 cup of coconut flour. We're going to make some grain-free dog treats. There are just a few ingredients and they're pretty simple to make, so let's get started. We're going to start out with a 15-ounce can of pumpkin. And then we're going to add a ½ a cup of peanut butter. This makes a lot of dog treats. And they're good for up to a month in a container. Next, we're going to add 4 eggs. And the last of the wet ingredients is a ½ a cup of coconut oil melted. We're going to go ahead and blend these ingredients together. Going to give it a little scrape down before we add the dry ingredients. And we'll turn that on one more time just to make sure everything's mixed together. Okay. So now we're going to add our turmeric, and turmeric's a great ingredient. It's an anti-inflammatory, so it helps with inflammation with your dog if they happen to have that issue. And cinnamon does the same thing, and it's heart healthy for your dog, which is always good. And then lastly, we're doing 1 2/3 cup of coconut flour, the grain-free part, and we're going to blend that together with the wet ingredients and let that incorporate into the wet ingredients. Just going to scrape down the sides one more time. You really want to get that coconut flour incorporated because it takes a few minutes for it to get absorbed into your wet ingredients. One more time. So it looks good. Looks like everything's combined. And now we give it a 10 minute rest so all of that coconut flour can get absorbed into our pumpkin and oil and peanut butter. So we'll give it a good scrape down. Push it all together at the bottom of the bowl and let it rest for a little while. So we've let our dough incorporate, and we're going to take it out and put it in between two pieces of parchment paper. I just use this. They're already cut, easy. Put the other piece on top and then roll out our dough. So we've got our dough rolled out. We're going to use a couple different shapes. I recommend placing the cookie cutters in a little bit of coconut flour so that you can get them out when you cut them. This one's my favorite one. The bone. And then the smaller paw print. Look, so cute. There's the bigger one. Out with the cookie cutters, but we also had so much dough left that we decided to roll some too. If you want to skip that all together, you can. I just rolled these into teaspoon sized balls and then took a fork and smushed them down. That works as well. I also have some leftover dough that I am going to put in a disc shape and wrap in saran wrap and freeze in the freezer, so you can pull that out and make another batch at another time. Bailey, come here. Come here. Come here. We're gonna let Bailey give it a taste and see if she likes it. Come on out. Come on out. It's Bailey approved. So now that these are all set, ready to go into the oven, you're going to preheat it to 350 and you're going to bake these for 40 to 45 minutes. Set it for 40, see if they are done. It depends on your oven. If they're not all the way dry, you could add that extra 5 minutes, but usually 40 minutes is pretty on spot for them. Mm-hmm. Hey, so we finished baking off our cookies. It made 4 dozen cookies, so if you want to go ahead and freeze some, you can do that. You can share them with puppy friends. We did some for Gracie and Murray. So we're going to let Bailey try them and see if she likes them. Yum.